Damn, this is loud. I have to fix this audio levels. It's like the most loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. What's going on, everybody? Let me turn this down a smidgen. Hey guys, welcome to the Hannibal is Hungry YouTube channel, the Stay Hungry Show. Actually, yes, John, hit that like button. There's something I'm missing. I gotta find it. Give me a second. Oh, there it goes. My little sign right there. Forgot to put that on there. Thank you. Hello. Before I even start everything, I say hi to everybody. Hey Lisa. Hey John. I think I saw Dash Theory on earlier. I don't know if he's still in the room, but thank you guys for checking out the channel. Let me turn this down just a bit. I wish I would just turn it down completely. I gotta fix. Ooh, that's a hard break. You definitely don't want to when you're doing radio or broadcasting. You don't want to hit a hard break like that. It's supposed to slowly fade, but Oh, already, John, you're awesome. Thank you for the super chat. Boom. yeah, you definitely heard that somewhere. Wonder how is he doing? I'm sure he's doing fine. Anyway, thanks for everyone to join the live stream. I don't know how long I'll stay on. I kind of just wanted to talk about this situation because, be honest, I don't know how to decide what's going on, but I want to talk to you guys for a little bit, see if you guys have the same, or if we're on the same wavelength of what's going on and what this means for the future of us gig workers. But first, I hope you guys had a fantastic Labor Day weekend. Yesterday, I did not work at all. Well, that's not necessarily true. I did like one thing, taking care of a dog, but I drove very minimum yesterday. I just grilled. I grilled some steaks, some chicken, some shish kebabs. I think we had some potato salad. So I was just eating and drinking. So I didn't really do too much work. Tell me in the chat if you guys worked yesterday, and if it was a good day or not. Because it's interesting that we're talking about this a day after Labor Day, but the unemployment benefits, the pandemic unemployment benefits, expires. And it's a big deal because it's millions and millions of people that were using these benefits, to pay the bills and continue living. And now, it's been cut off. So, when I saw the story, I knew it was going to eventually happen, but it was interesting because I was reading the article on Labor Day. What exactly is going to happen with gig work? What is going to happen in terms of the amount of drivers we have on the road? What is going to happen with the restaurants and hospitality industry? What's going to happen in general? Because everything affects us in some way of reason. In terms of just working as a gig worker, we kind of go up and down with the economy because, it's a business. We are business owners to a certain extent. And when things go well, the economy is great, everyone's getting paid, then more people are ordering food, they're ordering things, and we benefit. But when things change and how everything is kind of uncertain right now, you don't know. And this is the reason why I want to talk to you guys. But before we'll jump into the article I wanted to read, I have a few people who went out. John, so you went out. It was super busy. Okay. Jim, what's up, Jim? You worked 3 hours yesterday. It was slow, but you got the orders. So that's good. That's good. YouTube Persona, $167 yesterday from 11 to 7:30. What market is that? But yeah, that's not bad at all. That's a good day. It's Labor Day, so I remember working so many holidays in my old W-2 job. So as much as, yes, working holidays is really good for gig work, I tend to not want to work when it's a holiday, especially like Labor Day. I did not want to. But let's get into the article I wanted to read. It's on CNN. It's, everyone, you can grab CNN. It's pretty easy. Let me share this up. Share screen, window, boom. Oh, boom. All right. Unemployment benefits. Let's see. Jobless Americans left scrambling after the pandemic unemployment benefits end. So, yeah, you have this, personal story right here. But let's get to the meat of this. Nearly 18 months after Congress came to the rescue of jobless Americans, its historic expansion of the nation's unemployment benefit system expired nationwide this weekend. Lawmakers who extended the 3 pandemic programs in December and March are not expected to renew them again. The key Component of the relief effort was the federal weekly supplement for out-of-work Americans. Initially, the jobless received $600 a week boost from April through July of 2020. Congress then revived the enhancement to late December, but reduced it to $300 a week. Lawmakers also created two other measures to aid the jobless while Corona struck. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program provided payments for freelancers, self-employed, independent contractors, and certain people affected by the outbreak, while the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program extended benefits to those who exhausted their regular state benefits. So this, let's see, nearly 11 million people affected. More than 8 million people are left with no unemployment compensation at all, while another 2.7 million lost 300 federal weekly boosts, but will continue receiving state payments according to estimates by the Century Foundation. So, there you go. Very interesting. What does that mean for us gig workers? Now, it could go different ways. I think when I posted this earlier in the community tab, a lot of people kind of may seem like, or at least the initial thought I received was negative. People think this is a bad thing, that is going to just continue with more and more saturation. People now have to go to work. They're going to have to figure out how to make ends meet. And no one wants to work those jobs that's open. I think there's nearly 10 million jobs that's open right now. And they don't seem like they're getting filled up. So people may not want those jobs. And most of them, I think a lot of those jobs are the fast food industry, some of the restaurant industry, the kind of jobs that you have to work really hard and you may not feel like you're getting the compensation, or what you're not fairly compensated from which, what you're doing. But at this point, it's easy to say that it could be a negative thing, like it'll just be more and more people on the platform. And that could be one thing. But I guess a positive is that if enough people go back to those jobs, I know it's unfortunate, but someone has to do the work, right? Like someone has to do the job that most of us don't want to make it, because that's just how it is being an adult. You have family, you have bills to pay. And unfortunately, a lot of people did not, take advantage of the time that they were home, or they couldn't. They had to do other things. They had other opportunities. Now it's to a point where will some of these jobs get filled up? Some of these jobs in the restaurants, in the fast food places, where we're no longer walking into a restaurant or walking to a fast food establishment and they either are ridiculously slow or close completely because they didn't have enough people to hire. So that's a positive. Hopefully, maybe to that certain extent, that may actually happen. I know that there's some people who suggest that nope, it's just going to continue to go the same direction. It's going to be people staying home, and some states cut away from the federal pandemic unemployment benefits. They cut early, and they still haven't seen the increase in employment. Now, that was a couple of months ago, different places. Markets are different. That's one of the things that especially I want to talk about in this channel, that every market is different. But, this is a nationwide thing. So I wanted you guys to, ask you guys, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that we're going to have more competition with the gig apps, or people now have to go back to W-2 jobs? They'll probably need something more sustainable. Maybe they're not as well seasoned as a gig worker as, many of us who, frequent all of the content creators. We post videos, we talk about it so much. So, some of us may stick around. We may hold. We may say, hey, you know what? I'm going to chill and wait until what everyone else starts to do and starts to, go into their W-2s or other lines of work. And maybe things will open up. Maybe the end of the year that, hey, your orders are coming in now. People are actually working. They're making some decent money. They may not make as much as, staying home, getting the extra 600, but they're out working. And people who work especially if you work a full-time job, you're not able to cook as much as you used to if staying home, and you may be ordering out more. Some people don't cook at all. So now they're out there not, they have to work, and maybe we get some more orders. So now tell me what you guys think. I'm optimistic, to be honest. I think I think is going to get people that had a long time to stay home, and they're going to go back to a W-2. They're going to want something more sustainable. I think most people want a sustainable living. And, us gig workers, we're a special breed. Like, we're, independent contractors, especially the ones who do this, not necessarily full-time, but put some effort into this every week. It's a different vibe of, we kind of get used to the ups and downs, the slow days. And I guess your average, your normie, if they have one bad day, they're like, hey, F this, I'm going to go back to W-2. So I think hopefully there'll be less saturation. But let me see. We got some comments in YouTube persona. I hope it will bring some quality workers out to replace some of the workers out here now that almost seem like their moms have forced them to have a job. Yeah, it's interesting. On Twitter, one of the trending phrases was "get a job." I think that came from a Republican senator. I think it was like Ted Cruz or something like that. And he was getting a lot of slack for it. But yeah, people got to go get a job. Like, what else is? You got to pay those bills. There's no, you're not going to be able to rely on the government. The government's printing more money than it's ever been ever. So it looks like people are just going to have to get a job. Rodney, what's up, man? I'll read your comment right now. I think less saturation. There's a lot of drivers not suited for gig work. Definitely. One of my favorite conversations with Roy from Roy will be Roy. I know he's a bit of a polarizing dude, but I love talking to him and I love watching his videos. I think a lot of us aren't really suited. Now, I'm talking about the normies. I'm not talking about the guys, you guys and girls that's on this channel and that go to all the other channels. We kind of, a lot of us are kind of built for it, but I think most aren't. And, they're going to go for that stable W-2 where they know how much money they're making and they know how the check is supposed to look like if they work this many hours. And, I think that makes a lot of sense. Robbie Hunter, what's up? I think if they waited till the benefits right out, they would want a guaranteed paycheck now. So W-2. Yeah, that's a good point. I think from the article that I saw, the CNN article, many people say they're not working. So this is, let me see if I moved it to an entire screen here. But let me share. There's something else about the article I find interesting. See if I can find it. Okay, awesome. I still got to figure out how to get this to work all the time. So right here, so more than 5.5 million people said they are not working because they are caring for children who are not in school or daycare, according to the most recent Census Bureau Household Pulse survey conducted in the first 2 weeks of August. Another 3.2 million said they are concerned about getting and spreading the coronavirus. Now, I know that some of that is actually a legitimate concern. I think it depends on who you are and your health, but I know coronavirus is probably something that people are worried about. But there are vaccines if you choose to take them. You go to a doctor and make sure everything is okay. And I think most schools are doing in-person education, as far as I know. I know there's some that have some choices, but at the same time, if your benefits run out, there's certain sacrifices that most people are going to have to take. And I kind of follow with Robbie. I think W-2 is what's going to happen. I think people are going to go and get that W-2 job. But you know how W-2, we all, some of us who have W-2 jobs and they actually do gig work on the side. Some days you're so exhausted from the W-2, you don't go out as much as you did before if you didn't have one. So I think that leaves a lot for the rest of us to go make some money during the end of the year. I really think so. Let me check that out. YouTube persona, I deliver to a lot of work from home people. I pray that they're allowed to continue after the Zeta. This is another variant. I thought it was Delta. Zelta? Okay. Comes out, we can fully. There's so many variants. I can't keep up. I mean, that may be a variant. I have no idea. But yeah, I think there's going to be hybrid situations, I'm assuming, where some people are able to stay at home for a little while and go back to work. But I'm concerned, just like the rest of you guys, when you guys you're dashing or you're doing Uber Eats, doing Grubhub, and you go to a fast food restaurant and the service is so slow because they don't have enough people there, or literally, oh, it's a joke. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I think there's another variant called Mu, like MU, and I just saw that today on TV. Like there are some variants out there. I couldn't tell you, but as you're doing your gig work, you go to fast food restaurant, you try to open the door, it's closed. They literally close the store. They don't have enough employees. I know it's gonna suck for a lot of us, right? For a lot of us, but if we kind of hold and let everyone else take those crappy jobs that none of us want, that we could go into a fast food restaurant and pick up those orders fast. I mean, I'm still not going to go into a fast food restaurant, but if I'm really desperate, I would like to go to that Wendy's, or probably not Wendy's, but like that Popeyes, and you see a full staff working. Yes, they're unhappy. Yes, the job isn't the best job, and hey, we all had jobs that we didn't like, but if we get enough of those people to do that, make our jobs easier so we can pick up the food and take it to the customer as fast as possible, I think that would be a good thing. Dash Theory TV, check out his channel, you guys. He has a great channel. Been following him for a minute. People with W-2 jobs will just have more money to order and tip us with. Yeah, because it's a stable income. Because right now, and depends on your market, there's people there's just so many drivers out there, and there's just so much going on that I think a lot of people who decide, hey man, this DoorDash is just too saturated in my market. Let me just go get a W-2 and then dash on the weekends or something like that, or dash on my days off. That leaves more orders for everybody else. So, it's 10 million open jobs in the country. That's crazy. 10 million. So it looks like there's enough jobs for everyone, but we all know why those jobs are open. The jobs that people don't really want. And I understand that clearly. Hey, Gig Life with Lexi, appreciate it. Check out her channel as well, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Taz, my market is way too saturated and it's hard to make even 80 a day. Yeah, I think, for those heavy saturated markets, like, Taz, you're feeling it too. And you would hope that enough people feel it and go and find something else to do. We all can't live the dream, right? Like we take these apps, we use these, Grubhub, DoorDash for the freedom and flexibility. But the hard truth, and I want to make a video about this, the way, you go on YouTube and you type in DoorDash, the first couple of videos is all about how you can make $1,000, how you can make $1,500, how you can make $1,900 a week. And they're not really telling you the real deal about these situations. Not every market you're going to be able to make that kind of money. How old are these videos? Was it before when DoorDash was giving out higher base wage? Was it easy because there was less people on it? It's, I think DoorDash said they had like 2-3 million dashers. Well, if they have that many contract workers out there right now, it's going to be difficult for anyone to be, and again, it depends on your market. It really depends on where you are. So, hopefully, the most dedicated will stick around, at least check it out every once in a while to see if they can log in and make some money. But there's some people who have terrible experiences working with the apps, and if they bounce out, that leaves us some money. It leaves us some stuff to get to. Let's see. Jim Reese, Taco Bell closed lobbies in my market. Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Like Taco Bells. I've seen some Taco Bell. I heard some White Castles. I think I've seen some Subways as well, where there's not enough employees to work. And a lot of small business owners are desperate for work. I don't know if you guys saw some of the news. I think Amazon stopped checking for weed, so they're not screening people for weed. I think some other businesses are no longer accepting a high school diploma. This is how desperate these businesses are to get employees. They're like, hey, listen, can you just, walk and talk and move your arms and legs? Can you do that? And then, do something for us? Cause we're so desperate. I mean, we saw that sign, McDonald's sign looking for 14 and 15-year-olds. Like it's hard out there for these businesses to try to keep it going. And people are just not interested in working. But we'll see in the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens in September. We'll see what happens in October. Holidays are coming up. You have to make some money for those gifts. You got kids, and they're annoying, and they want to want something. And then you gotta go, go buy that Xbox, go buy that PlayStation 5 because your son wants one, and you're like, well, I don't have a job. But, all right, I gotta go work at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I hate it, but the bills got to get paid somehow. And all right, another thing too I want to talk about. I think we all know somebody, at least one person, that been on unemployment for no good reason other than the fact that they want to stay home. Like, I know, like the survey said they don't have kids and they're worried about the virus. We all know, we all have a friend out there that was chilling the whole time. And hey, listen, nothing wrong. If I had the ability, I would have done the same thing. There's no shade, but we all know many people that enjoyed that extra $600, or then they went to the $300 and just was chilling, enjoyed summer, took the time off. Maybe they didn't have a vacation in a long time. But now I think the vacation is over and people are going to have to get a job. Nothing wrong with it. You gotta make money. You gotta do something. Lisa Red Robin had a 500 sign-on bonus. There's a lot of bonuses coming out, and I will say right now, if you are one of those, well, I think everyone here is working, doing their thing. If you are someone who needs a W-2, get them now before, because eventually all these companies are going to wise up, and those bonuses are going to be gone, because if they have more applications than they need, then all those bonuses, all the ass kissing that they were doing to get people through the door is going to be gone. So I definitely think that this month and next month, if I was looking for a W-2, it's time to get it now, because that's where you get the most leverage. Because eventually, I doubt it in a year they're going to still have these sign-on bonuses. I just don't see it. Dash Theory TV. There will be a gold rush eventually. Some of these high pay wages seems to be the 17, 19-year-olds in my market. Yeah, if you're working, if you're young, this is the best time to jump in and get a job. Oh yes, you would like to do the Ubereats and Grubhub, but if you're in the market and it's slow and you're just not getting the work that you're expecting, don't just sit back and take it. Go check out some jobs. Dash, exactly. I'll put it right here. It's okay to look at some W-2s. A lot of these businesses are desperate for good people, for high quality employees. It looks like they're trying to get anybody. The holidays coming up. Maybe there's some seasonal work. There's nothing wrong with grabbing something seasonal right now. I know UPS usually always has seasonal work. People are buying stuff online more than ever before. So don't neglect the idea of getting a W-2 to ride out for the rest of the year. If you don't want to, if the market is just so saturated, you don't want to keep doing the same thing expecting different results. If it's the same thing, you're doing it for a couple of weeks, it's just not working out in your market, go do something else. Don't stick around because you see a video of some person making this much money. Just simple question. Where does that person work? Where's that market? And you can try to travel to that market or realize that it's not your market and find something else to do. Referral sign up is a marketing point. Don't fall for the trick. Well, I don't know. I don't know. You have any like? Are you talking about DoorDash's referral sign up? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think when I did a video a couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks back about, we kind of all fell for the referral thing for DoorDash and these other companies where we were systematically saturating our own market by telling people to sign up to it. to a point where obviously there'll be too many of us out here to a point now we're sitting in our car for half an hour and got three bad orders after bad order after bad order because we told people to do this, like, hey, jump in, and because we're expecting the referral bonus and whatever. We kind of put ourselves back into a corner, unfortunately. Let's see if there's anything else about the article that I thought was interesting. Let's see. Let me see if I could. Let me share it so I can see exactly what's going on. Okay. We have protected people up to now with the real damage of long-term unemployment. Now we have to see whether the job market is really strong enough to keep people out of long-term harm at a time when people don't have some of the other protections, like the housing protections they had during the pandemic, which is also very, very true. The eviction moratorium is over. So it's not just the idea, well, yeah, I don't have a job. Are you behind in rent? You're going to have to take a job, and you're going to have to take a job that you may not like. Hundreds of out-of-work Americans wrote to CNN about why they are having trouble returning to the labor market at this time. Some said good jobs remain scarce. Others said the virus is still affecting their business, and still others cited family or health reasons. Well, unfortunately, the bills do not change. The bills, your cable bill, your light bill, it's not interested in the issues that you're having with your labor market or the good jobs are scarce thing. The bills want to collect. So you're going to have to figure something out eventually. What's up, Gig Gubowski? What's going on? How are you doing? Jim Reese, we might be more affected by the end of the eviction moratorium. And I feel like that is probably even the bigger thing is about the eviction moratorium, where some people are so far behind and paying the rent, they may get evicted. I've heard figures about at least 1 million, 2 million people may just literally be out on the street. You'd hope that some landlords would try to make some deals, try to figure out something, but a lot of landlords are looking to make money because at the same time, landlords have bills to pay too. They got to pay the bank. They got a mortgage. They have bills to pay. So this is a thing that's it's a very complicated situation. And it's kind of weird that I think the government kicked the can down the road so many times now that now everyone's waiting for the handout. The landlords, the property owners looking for like, hey, where's the money? I've been paying to keep this person in my house. This person didn't pay me any rent. Where's my rent? And then, some of the renters were expecting money too. There's like, oh, you said to stay home because of the situation. You closed down the business that I worked. So am I going to be compensated to pay the rent so I can stay in my home? So it's very uncertain times right now. And that's where, I come in terms of the idea of like, okay, so if I'm a dasher, I use Grubhub, I use Ubereats, and then I see that over, millions of people are going to be kicked out of the unemployment benefits, or the benefits are ended. How many people are in that situation that is in my market, and what are they going to do? I think that's the biggest question. What are they going to do? And what they're going to do will factor on what's going on, because not all, all 8 million people are going to go and sign up for DoorDash. No, but some may, because again, they go on YouTube, they type in DoorDash, and they're going to see, the first couple of videos is how much money can you make? You can make $1,000. Well, maybe if you can't. What market? Are you in a market that will facilitate $1,000 a week? I think Pedro, he had a video talking about a survey that I think some of the Dashers put and sent. And if you believe in the numbers of the survey, who knows? But there's a very small amount that dash full time. It's a very small amount. I forgot the number off the top of my head. If someone knows, you can put in the chat. So most of us are not full time at all. it's it's just a very small amount. But still, when a lot of people are doing it, and we all kind of know when the best times to dash, when the best time to go outside. That's why a lot of times we just stuck in that car waiting for a good order, because it's a scarce commodity to get good orders in some of these markets. I do have this term I refer to market privilege, and I don't believe in privilege in any other circumstance, but market privilege is a real thing where you can go on you go on the internet, you go on a Facebook group, Dasher, and it's always at the end of the group someone will post a really nice payout. Well, where were they that they made this payout? Your favorite content creator that does well, right? They post their earnings. It's funny. I don't think a lot of them post them as much as they used to. But where are they located? Are they located in a major city? Are they located where there's millions of people, thousands of restaurants, or they're in a one horse town? I don't know if is there ever a one horse town? I don't know. But anyway, it's only certain pockets. I mean, that's the whole idea of a market or a situation where a lot of people come here to New York, right? Everyone comes to Brooklyn. Everyone comes to New York City. Why? Because there's like 8 million people here. You can make $1,000 in a week very easily. I won't say easily. You got you're gonna put some hustle to it. You gotta be outside. You do about 40 hours a week. You should make $1,000 if you do it correctly. You're not top dash and all that nonsense. Like if you just cherry pick and just stay outside for 40 hours, you could make $1,000. You could make $1,200. However, rent in Brooklyn, I think the medium is about 20 something hundred. So as much as we can say, well, man, people in New York make a lot of money. Yeah, but rent is so high that money just disappears. At the end of the month, that money is gone. So you gotta hustle. Then you gotta go out there maybe a little longer than 40 hours a week. But a lot of markets are different. It's not the same. So I think what everyone needs to do is be really be more local, or at least concentrate more locally on what's going on in your area. Find the DoorDash group or Reddit that's centered in your city, if it's possible, because it's difficult to kind of know what's going on when you just go on YouTube, because you don't know where you kind of know, but at the same time you don't know where all these markets, who's in what market. And when you stay real local and you figure out what's happening in your neck of the woods, then you can make a better decision whether to stop doing it entirely or continue to pursue it. Yes, good point, Lisa. Majority, you can, and that's one of the better. That's market privilege right there. I can go out right now and dash now. I mean, it's dinner time, but I can dash now pretty much all the time, right? Now I don't, because after 10, 11 o'clock, all of the good restaurants are closed, and it's just the hood spots open. And yeah, they open until late. But that's where if I decided, well, I could dash at 1 o'clock in the morning. Dash now, no problem. I'm just getting a bunch of McDonald's orders, Wendy's orders, White Castle orders, Popeyes orders, and I'd rather die. Like I'd rather just I can't. I just can't. It's too slow, and then they're not tipping. No one tips fast food, or not in my area. I just don't. I don't want to get shot or something like that. I used to do it. I used to be out late in the pandemic time. I'll be out there at 2 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, after a certain time, with the really good restaurants are closed, just not worth it. Just not worth it. I usually run 8 hours 6 days a week. Bad days are 100. Good days are over 200. On my third month now, start stealing. Yeah, man. Yeah, props to you, man. As long as you enjoying it, man. 6 days, 8 hours. I'll be honest. That's a heavy toll. But if you're enjoying it and you don't seem to feel any slowdown or a burnout, keep doing it. But also, man, just make sure you're taking some breaks, because it can wear on you. It can wear on you. I mean, we're not all machines like Mr. Flex. That dude is like a machine. He's just, and he's a good. It seems like it's a good market. Jersey must be. I'm not want to blow Jersey's spot up, but I see Kim Side Money Plans She has a great channel. Check her stuff out. And Mr. Flex, y'all making some money up in Jersey. I may have to move. Because as much as New York City or Brooklyn, where I'm at, yeah, it's a good, strong market. The traffic is so unbelievably bad that it's like a standstill. After, I would say lunch is fine. Like I go out from 11 to 1 or 2 and still make some decent money. But once it's like 2 to 8, there's no way I'm just stuck in traffic all day at a snail's pace. Everybody's outside. I don't know what they're doing. So this 8 million people out of work. I guess they're not all here in New York because everyone's in their car driving somewhere. I'm like, where y'all going? I thought no one was working. So I'll be in the car from 3, 4, taking forever to go a few miles. So I just don't. You know what? I gotta put this up. Made $441 this past week. I'm gonna move to Jersey. That's it. This is just as ridiculous. Yeah, I gotta move to Jersey. I'm assuming the traffic is not bad compared to New York, where it's just so congested, and then everyone's mad at each other. Like, you want to make good money in Brooklyn and Manhattan and these really dense areas, get a scooter, get an e-bike. Even if you stay around 2 to 3 miles, that's how small and how close everything is to each other. You just stay in 2 to 4 miles, you'll make money and just bypass all the cars being, standing there in the middle of the street because traffic is bad. Construction, everything is being fixed all the time. There's always these buses, school buses. Like, who cares about these kids? I'm just kidding. I like kids. I have one, I think. Chris, that's not bad at all. Chris, where are you at? That's not bad at all. 20 hours a week and you're bringing in $500 to $600. That's ideal. Like, that's what I would like to do. Like, the idea of freedom and flexibility. I'm not interested in working 40 hours. But some people do, and well, props to it. But I feel like you want to pursue other things and try to figure out other businesses and apply new skills. If you could work 20 hours and make about $500, something like that, like you can make a good chunk of money. That's good, because then you have more time to do other things. You're not stuck with a W-2. A W-2 where you're stuck with a schedule and you're stuck with a situation where you can't necessarily just, I don't want to like working that day. Like, it kind of works that way. In my little area, that $167 I made yesterday, I drove 34 miles total. Wow. Today was one of those bad days. I made $112 and drove 52 miles. Well, not bad, man. Not bad. Not bad at all. What's up, Victor? Grubhub is a game changer when you pre-schedule. It's night and day, but you gotta be fast to grab your block. I don't even try to grab any blocks in my area. It's too many people, so I never schedule. I may have scheduled Dash a few times, but I don't bother, because either I gotta figure out when they post the next 6 days, and then maybe grab one, but. When it's busy, it's busy. When it's not, it's not. So me grabbing a shift on a Tuesday may not even be worth it, because, Tuesdays is notoriously slow for my market. Another Jersey. Okay, we just cracked the code, guys. So if you want to make more, I'll make a video about this. If you want to make more money, if you want to make $1,000 a week, a one-step plan, the secret to how to make $1,000 a week. Step 1, move to Jersey. Step 2, and then step 3, profit. Like, you're just going to make tons and tons of money, because clearly people are just making money hand over fist in Jersey. We make fun of Jersey. I never did. Well, sometimes I did. But it seems like that's where it is. I tell you. Another one. It's my time. What's up? Thank you for coming in. Made $714 in 21 hours 2 weeks ago. Seattle area. Interesting. Seattle. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, we should do more of this, just talking about markets. Sometimes, I've noticed it too, sometimes when you go and you'll see someone post their earnings, the flex, and then you ask them where their market and they don't want to tell you. Which I guess is smart, right? Like, I don't want to tell you where I made this money. So you come in, move, and take my money. You know. um, I did Jersey City, but didn't. So it was hot. So it was like New York. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like we have the restaurants. We have a lot of a lot of people with money, but the traffic is just you're making no money because you're just stuck in traffic the entire time. So another thing too, you guys, I don't know if Google has this, but I look up average income levels in the markets. Like, so if I wanted to know if a market is well, that's why I like my market that I do dashing. I think it's called Brooklyn North or something like that. It's like Park Slope. And if you look up Park Slope, the average income level is 6 figures. So the average person or family that's in that area is making 6 figures. So I know if I just stay there, they have really good restaurants and they got people who tip. That's where I'm going to stay. But if I decided to dash at 12 o'clock at night or midnight, I'm in in the hood, and the average income could be probably in the 30,000, 40,000. You're not going to get tips because they don't have the exposable income to take tips. And then on top of that, some situations you're not in the best neighborhoods, and then a lot of people lying saying they get their food. Now I know it could happen anywhere, but the situation I've been to or been through where someone said they didn't get their order, it was always in an area where I should have never been there in the first place. Is a mode that I saw Pedro wear a jersey? No, it doesn't. And yeah, St. Louis must be good too. We got Katie. I'm in Cleveland. I make 700 to 800 a week. I work about 30 hours, but I don't do DoorDash almost never. That's not bad. 30 hours, 800. That's nice. That's nice. That's a nice amount of money. That's a nice amount of money. That's why I don't do Ubereats in New York City because they want you to travel. Yeah, that and Grubhub. If for New York City, if you guys are in there, Grubhub is they want you to travel. It's like, hey, listen, we're gonna give you a nice payout. We're gonna give you over $10, but you gotta go 1,500 miles. I'm like, all right, like no, I don't want to go that far. And then on top of that, is the food ready? And Grubhub's like, I don't know. Well, I don't know, maybe. You want to go get it? It's ringing. The bell, the cowbell. Go get it. Like, all right. DoorDash is DoorDash gets a lot of hate. But I would say for New York City area, get all of them obviously. But New York City area, Brooklyn area, DoorDash you'll get more offers, good ones, and you could do 2, 3 in an hour, compared to Uber Eats and Grubhub. Uber Eats and Grubhub, they want you to do 2 an hour. And the way it seems like the way they have their algorithm set up is for you to do a 2 hour. They don't want you to make too much money. But that's just my opinion. Yes, the best tip is to know your area for sure. When I first started, I was driving all over the zone, over 180 miles on most days compared to my 50 average now after learning where and to where not to go. Exactly. I mean, I still think market is probably the majority of the success is where you're working. Do people have money? What's the demographic? Do people are young and they're looking to order food out? How many restaurants are there? You know what I mean? Like a lot is still important on the market, whether you make a lot of money or not. But then the other part, even if it's the smaller part, still important is how to work the apps and how to work your neighborhood and understanding the market that you're currently in to see, maybe it's not food delivery apps that are doing well. It's probably the shopping apps that do well. Like some people do really well with the Instacart or even Amazon Flex. So it's a lot of research, I think. And Roy had a really good point. We don't educate the new person. The new person decides to jump in. They come in with the idea, well, I'm gonna make all this money barely with no effort. And to get a rude awakening when you realize that you have to have a plan. You have to understand what's going on. You have to have some the tips and tips and tricks you always say. You have to understand your market, the time to go, knowing what restaurants to avoid. That all takes time, and it's not as easy. Well, I'm just going to jump in and make all this money. So I think, especially in the beginning, you're probably, a lot of people are getting frustrated because their expectations are not realistic. It's not in line with reality. What about if we're going to use the Mr. Flex app? It would be funny if he had his own app. But yeah. Grubhub definitely, they're definitely, they're gonna make you travel for the orders, and it's all designed. A lot of these apps are designed. They understand what the state's minimum wage is. They understand what they promise, or they advertise and say you can make up to $20 an hour. They want to make sure that you're not making so much money. So they play around with it. They say if we make this person go take this order, they may get kicked out of their zone. Now they got to drive back. All that driving, we not have to pay them anything. And we just, I'm sure DoorDash does the same thing as well. I mean, the idea, do you think the algorithm should be strong enough where they give you an order and don't take you out your zone? I'm sure they could if they wanted to. They're not. But I'm sure they have the ability, the technology. Well, maybe not DoorDash, the way the app keeps not working. And you see this type of things, and you see why people get so desperate. They go to the dude's house. You know what I mean? Like, and for the fact, like, it's funny, I don't protest anything. Like, I couldn't even tell you what I would actually go to a protest for. But some people just like going to protest. Like, some people just like to fight the power, and it's like, we're going to go to the dude's house, even though, like I said, most likely he wasn't even home, or he was moving on, whatever he has to do, and we're going to go and just bother him. Late night hustles and grind. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming in. Mo Dasher, it's like a casino. Win too much and they try to take you out. Yeah. I mean, there's so much about the algorithm that we just don't know. There's so much that they don't want us to know. Because if we did, I don't even know would we even continue to do it. If we knew exactly how they were hiding, or we don't know what they're hiding, but how they structure things, we may be too disgusted. We may not even do it anymore. Like, it's kind of crazy. Godspeed Max, welcome. I average $20 an hour during the week on Grubhub. Yeah, I mean, I like Grubhub. I'm a fan of Grubhub. It just, the miles a little bit off, but I know they included miles on. Finally, they did. I know I think the Power app has miles on it too, but I guess the Power app is a bit irrelevant at this point. Grubhub put miles on their native app, and that tip predictor. I haven't been on Para's Facebook group, so I don't know if things are better with the tip predictor. But from what I've heard, it's not really accurate of what is if you're going to get a tip or not. So basically, you're back to yourself, just figuring out the item totals, the subtotal, the restaurant. Like, basically, you have to use your own brain. It's not as easy mode as it was with the Para app. I'm gonna try to pronounce. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. Hung Lee. DoorDash raises delivery fees to $5 in my area with a $2 surface charge. Then that's $6.99 charge diner per order. Base pay is $2.50 for Dasher ripoff. Yeah, I mean that's the biggest problem, right? Like, we get mad at how low, how the customers are not tipping, and it's a luxury service, right? I do believe that food delivery is a luxury service, but how many people can afford it? How many people can afford the luxury service? Is there enough people that can afford this luxury service for all of us to be outside to work? Is there enough people that can pay and tip well enough for all of us? I think Dash is 2 million, for 2 million Dashes to be outside every day. Yeah, maybe not. Oh yes, Tanner Markley is in the house. Rest in peace. But yeah, but once you left, it was they're still around, right? They're still doing something or another. If they're able, right? So the app that can combine all of them, like a multi-app where I can see everything on one screen. That will, and I can decline orders. Auto decline, kind of the same thing with the driver utility helper, but have that for all the apps, all the platforms in one location. That would be my thing. I would love that. I'm sure Militant Technologies could put that together. Let's see. Jim Reese. My local Dunkin' Donuts on some days refused to make Dunkin' Donuts orders. just stopped. I stopped accepting those orders. Yeah, I mean, if they're just not going to do them, yeah, that just might as well just not even bother. I mean, it's funny. Every name brand place, like I rather take an order from a restaurant I can't pronounce or understand what even they do over your McDonald's or your Wendy's or White Castle. It's just weird. Like these multi-billion-dollar franchises, they enjoy taking, they're not complaining about DoorDash taking so much money out the orders because they're pumping out so much orders anyway. So it benefits these companies, but they're the absolute worst at it. These employees can't take, all the drive-through orders, all the orders inside the restaurant, and take the DoorDash order. But they're not allowed to turn off the machine. Sometimes they complain. Like I've seen a few times where a McDonald's employee was like, I wish I could turn this stuff off. I don't think they can. I don't think they're allowed to. And just the orders keep piling up. IGK. Always wondered when I first started why no tip orders kept being reassigned, and I kept accepting, thinking a tip was coming. It never came, and I always rejected those myself. Yeah, I mean, it's not a tip is not going to come ever. It just never come onto the order. It's just the order will eventually get to a point where they raise the rate, DoorDash themselves. And I've noticed when I use the driver utility helper, and you put, I love that app where you can just kind of say, hey, listen, I only want orders that gives me $2 per mile and $10 the minimum order. And when I get orders, usually I'll get stacked orders from a fast food restaurant. And I realized that when I go in a restaurant, the food is sitting there. It was food sitting there. So I'm delivering maybe a $9 order with no tip. But that McDonald's been sitting there for God knows how long. I don't know how appetizing that food is going to be. You know how McDonald's, if you don't eat in the first 20 minutes, it's basically, furniture. But it's a person who didn't tip and it's just sitting there. And you know what? I could talk about this now because, my mom can't stand him. Her ex-boyfriend would order food and never tip. Right? Like, he won't tip. And they complain of how long it would take for the order to come into the house. Well, my mom, when she orders her food, because they'll order like two different things. She tips, she gets her food, and this dummy is just sitting there another, I don't know, half an hour, and no food comes. And he couldn't process the idea of, you're not tipping, dummy. Like, what the, just, I mean, he's such a cheap person, but you're dealing with that kind of mentality sometimes when people are ordering food. That he would sit there and scratch his head. Hey, I wonder why my food is not coming. All right, did you tip? Well, no, I didn't. Well, then what the hell? Hopefully you never get your food, dumbass. I wonder if she's watching. I don't know if my mom's watching this right now. IGK, I started with Postmates. Oh, yeah, Postmates. All right, yeah, rest in peace. Postmates sucked. Yeah, they would make you drive. They don't even tell you what the hell, how much the order is. Like, driving around 200 miles throughout Queens. I was making like $8. No one ever tipped on Postmates, but yeah, Grubhub is great. I think Grubhub is probably better in Queens. I should try Queens, but I don't have my section is in, I think, Park Slope. I think my section is, so Grubhub, you can't just go wherever you want on Grubhub, unfortunately. Damn, I went through an hour. Jesus, that went pretty fast. What's the chances of him watching this? Like, what's the chances? But Gig Life Girl, thank you for that comment. Made me laugh. Yeah, I know she don't care. But yeah, I think he's a notorious cheap person. But that's the kind of people we gotta deal with in the gig economy. There's people who are just not interested in tipping. Cheap, greedy, annoying people that we gotta deal with and give them their chicken McNuggets. And I'm tired of it. But I think I mean, I guess to conclude, I guess the topic: what's going to happen with us gig workers due to the pandemic? I guess we'll see. I'm going. I'm in the. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that I think more people are going to look for the more stable W-2, and that will leave orders for us, some extra orders for us, and hopefully allow those people who go back to W-2, they're ordering as well, and that would help us in terms of the orders and people taking the jobs that we don't want to take, and a lot of people don't want to take, but someone is going to have to take the job of those restaurants, so we can get orders faster. We're not sticking behind, whatever fast food restaurant you want to talk about, Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, what have you, and just waiting to die because either they don't have enough employees and it's always some kind of problem. So that's my opinion. We'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But any more questions, any more comments, just send them all in. I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm starving. We'll hang out for another minute. But thank you guys for coming in. 41 people just to hear me talk. Fantastic. It's funny. I don't have anybody slated for another interview. I emailed a few people. We'll see what happens in next week or so. Probably gonna me and Pedro probably will talk, probably chat it up. We'll see what else. Maybe I'll get back Roy. I know you guys are a big fan of him. Maybe Roy will come back on. And actually, if you guys are a fan of Mr. Flex, I think I may just have an interview where he's just doing he dashes all the time. And I'll just have him like in the background. I'll just talk and he'd be like doing his dash because he does live streams of his entire shift. Like his entire shift, he is working. Of an entire live stream, he is working. Like that's the whole. And when he has downtime, he responds to people comments in his chat. So it's super super cool. Yes. Appreciate it. Thank you, YouTube persona. Appreciate you. Gig Life Lexi. Appreciate you as well. If you're interested, Lexi, to talk, let me know. Send me a message. I think I'll put my email in the description if you want to chat. Thank you, Jim Reese. And if you guys are subscribed, if you aren't subscribed, like just check see if you guys are subscribed. If you're not, subscribe. Oh, this is funny. There's a lot of interviews with Tony Hsiu. I don't know if many of you guys are familiar with his life story or his background. So if you guys are interested, there is a video, and maybe we can all watch it together. It's an interview with, I forgot the guy's name, but it's like maybe 20 minutes, and he talks about his life and his how he came up. And I think a lot of people may not know exactly how Tony Hsiu became to be basically a 36-year-old billionaire of DoorDash. So if you guys are interested in that, maybe I'll actually do that. But yeah, I'm rambling. Thank you guys for coming through. My next live stream is Thursday. We're going to talk about multi-apping. And not multi-apping is you just have apps and you just use them. It's taking a DoorDash order at the same time as an Uber Eats order. Taking the Uber Eats order at the same time as a Grubhub order. Basically, working for two platforms at the same time. Is it wrong? Is it greedy? We're going to talk about basically a content creator that was deactivated from, I think it was Uber Eats and Grubhub, and he wasn't sure why, but he basically said it was probably because he was late with orders. I want to talk about that because I know there's a certain kind of like art and science to multi-apping, but is it right? Like if you was a customer and you ordered food and you look at the little map and you see the driver going in some odd direction that it didn't seem like it was going towards your house, but you knew that they picked up the order, but they're going in some ridiculously weird way. But then you come to find, you never know, but maybe you did find out that person was doing another order from a different company. How would you feel about that? So that's what we're going to talk about on Thursday. But until then, have a fantastic night, guys. Take care.